All right. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm John.
I'm Joni.
It's October 7th,
Yep.
Monday here, 2024. And today we're watching this guy. It's called Next Level
Soul.
Soul, Next Level Soul, his podcast on YouTube. And I like him. He has some good guests on there. Um,
They're really interesting
yeah.
topics and very good.
I had this guy talking about the religion and all that stuff. And we're going to get into that topic too, where religion came from, all that, because he's totally right. It's just basically when you think about religion in itself, and you really let's talk about, okay, how do you conquer somebody? How do you take over? And how do you fear? Okay, but you take their belief, you make it your own, and then you twist it to where it benefits you. And then you feed it to the people, and over time, those lies become truths, right?
Right.
The BS, the bullshit becomes the truth, and people believe it, and then they make a religion out of it, and then they make fear and you're going to hell. And
They use the fear to manipulate and control people.
right, just like at work, right? A job. Corporate chaos, I call it, which I got to write that book. They use fear, right? Because they're idiots, right? And I say that lovingly and kindly. They just don't know any better. So when I call them idiots, they're ignorant people because they just don't know any better. They've never been taught anything better. They just believe, the same thing. Well, I'm supposed to manage this way. I manage in fear. I mean, very few. Sometimes you get a manager who's rare, who doesn't do that, who uplifts, and they're very successful. But those are very, very rare. Most of them are just manipulated sheep that go, excuse me, I think that way is wrong. But because they want to, they have mortgages and car payments, as we all do. They cave to their belief system. They cave to their ideology. They cave to their ideas, and they just go along with the flow, going, okay, I'm going to do this. Meanwhile, they don't realize, well, they do realize, some do, some don't, that this isn't the right way to go about it. Leading in fear is completely, totally not good.
To be fair, those people have not realized that it's the whole corporate hierarchy. They're all doing it from the top down. So they feel that that's the only way. Unfortunately, we all know it isn't the way.
Except I got news for you. The people who actually started the company, if they would have started their company in the philosophy of fear, they never would have started the company.
Right. It never would have succeeded, for sure.
Never would have succeeded. So the concept of how it gets created is through ego-mindedness, and the ego that starts to run and manipulate people. It's like Stanford that did that experiment where they had a group of students and some were the prisoners and some were the guards.
Right.
And then the guards became very ego-minded and controlling, and right?
Right.
It became a control thing. So, fear, based on fear, living in fear, ruling on fear is totally just wrong. There's no other way to say it. It's not the best way to go about doing it.
Right.
Which leads me to a topic that I wanted to talk about, and we got to go more into fear because, man, we can go into so much. But the biggest misnomer of life that I feel, or the biggest in the spiritual world, the New Age world, in life in general, the biggest misconception is this word called duality. Duality is BS. In the beginning, there was light and only light. What makes you think that's changed? Nothing. It's never changed. There is no such thing as duality. There is no good. There is no evil. There just is. It's what you make of it.
Right.
It's how you perceive it.
Your perception of what is occurring.
This concept of duality is a means of control. It was created for a means of control. You're going to go to hell. You do this, there's a consequence. There's a consequence to an action. Again, I've talked about this in another thing. There's action to reaction, karma. It's such bullshit. It doesn't exist. To think that there's right and wrong belittles who you are as an individual. It creates doubt in one's thoughts, it creates doubts in one's personality, it creates doubts in one's mind. It's as if you did something wrong. Now, here's the thing. Am I saying go out and shoot somebody and that's okay? No. That's not the wisest thing to do. Will you then maybe reincarnate again into another life form and choose to be shot to experience what that's like? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Is that karma? No. It's got nothing to do with karma. It has everything to do with knowledge. It has everything to do with becoming aware. It has everything to do with becoming more aware of who you are as an individual. Right. Because if you were more aware of who you are as an individual, you would have never done that act in the first place.
Right.
But it's not a matter of right and wrong. It's a matter of what is. Okay? This concept of duality is total bullshit and it's BS. Don't buy into it. It's crap. In the beginning, there was light and only light. That has never changed, nor will it ever change. Okay? The only force in the universe is pure love. Now, I know it's going to ruffle a lot of feathers because it's what you've been used to. You know, it's the same thing with driving a real nice car. You're like, oh my God, am I supposed to do this? Am I okay driving this? Am I worthy of this? Can I have this thing? It's so different from most people's concept that they get in a Land Rover and they go, oh, this is really nice, right?
Right.
And I want this big car. God, is this okay for me to drive? Is this good? Right?
Right.
I'm not saying a Toyota isn't the same way. You may have the same feeling with the Toyota. Toyota's a great car. It's not the car, it's four wheels and an engine. To my point, it's a conception or the perception of what we think is. Right? And so I know it's going to ruffle a lot because you've been taught duality for so long that it's like, oh my God, this, what?
Well, that's pretty much everything that we've been taught since the beginning.
It's totally wrong.
It's just one more concept.
It's completely incorrect in every which way possible. I really don't like the word wrong either. It's totally incorrect. It's not the best. It just doesn't exist. Duality has not ever existed. There is no good. There is no evil. There just is. And it's your perception of what it is and how to use it. It's as simple as that. The more you become aware, the less you're going to do these things. I'm sure you did things. Right. And you know, this is another thing that I talk about in the tree of learning, right? How many times in your life have you looked back and you go, ooh,
I did something I shouldn't have.
Yeah, maybe that wasn't the wisest thing in the world, right? And so, you learn from this,
right?
So you learn from this. So you have this branch out there, like this tree behind us, and this has been hanging out here, okay, like one of these branches, this part of your life, and then now you're 40, 80, whatever, and you go, ooh, maybe that wasn't the wisest thing. And now you've learned from that, and now that branch goes away. Because you go, you know what, I'm so sorry I did that. Right. That wasn't the greatest thing to do. Now you learn that at 80.
Right. You can make amends later in your life. Anytime.
It's never too late to change.
Right.
The point of me doing what I'm doing here, or what we're doing here, the point of our guides, spirit guides, angels, and everything else, the point of us even doing this or being here is to simply try to help you along in the understanding of who you are, to where you don't have to wait till you're 80 to realize some of the things may or may not be wise for you, and to start living your best and highest good each and every day right now.
Right.
Because why wait till you die to get enlightenment or to find out who you are? I got news for you. You're already dead. Okay? The more you become alive is the more you become aware. The more aware you are, the more alive you are. Okay? Even though you're walking around in this physical world and you think this is life, or most people think this is life, most people think this is living, it is not. Most of us are dead because we're not aware of who we are. Okay? And the more you become aware of who you are, the more alive you become. And that's the truth. And when you go to the other side and you go through all these life reviews, which you will do, you'll see yourself and you go, shit, why did I do that?
Right.
Or, hell, that was good. And I never gave myself credit for that. Actually, maybe I was a decent person and I beat myself up my whole life. So you think I could have bought that coat? It's just a coat. But, oh my God, spending $300 on a coat, for the love of God, too much for me.
Right. Right.
Right? And we're not saying that is or that isn't. That could be difficult for you. And in these times, you have to be fiscally frugal and responsible. But are we fiscally responsible or frugal, or are we just not in the reality that life is abundant? And abundance is everywhere. Because I tell you, I am the type of person that I have $1 in my pocket and I don't know where my next dollar's from, but I really want that Milky Way bar or that Snickers bar. Screw it. I'm getting that Snickers bar. I know, but where's your next dollar from? I don't know. I don't know where my next dollar's coming from. But you know what? Screw it. I'm going to eat that Snickers bar. I'm going to spend my last dollar on it. Right?
Right.
I don't know where I get that from. But that's who I am. I don't really have those fears. Do I worry and think about money? Yes, I'm human. It's natural. Do I worry about where it's going to come from? Not really. I think it's going to be there. Do I have an issue with major abundance? I'm working on that. I'm like everybody else. I wasn't born into money. Were you born into money?
No.
So there's a thing that you have to be okay with. Here's $100 million. Are you okay with that? Oh my God, am I supposed to have this? Because you've never had it your whole life. So there's this experiential concept that we need to get through.
Right.
Right? But that is living. Okay? The more you become aware, the more you become alive. Would you not agree?
Absolutely.
So death is...
Absolutely. 100%. It allows you to live and live fully.
Death is a concept that we have created that we think it's actually leaving this physical world. But in fact, they're more alive over there than they were here. Most people were dead over here in the physical world and more alive over there because they weren't aware of who they were.
Right.
And it wasn't until they became aware of who they were that they went, holy shoot. And you think about all the near-death experiences out there. Mm-hmm. What do they, most of them always say? I don't want to come back.
Right.
This is great. I love over here. I've never felt so much love in all my life.
Right.
The love is amazing.
The love, the beauty, they want to remain. Yeah.
So don't buy into this.
Then they do come back and they have, to some degree, have lost that fear of death because now they know what's
now they live.
Yeah. And then they can live because they know what's actually...
It's not even a fear of death. Now they realize, geez, I'm more alive now than I ever have been.
Right. It's true. They allow themselves.
I was actually not alive when I wasn't awakened, and now that I'm awakened, I'm more alive. See, I've always said, if getting up, going to work, having barbecues on the weekend, traveling to Hawaii, taking trips, did it for me, I'd be the luckiest man in the world. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. I don't care about those things. I'll do those things. I don't care about those things. What's important to me is this. This is what's important to me. Because who cares if I travel to Hawaii and see the world when the world sucks? When no one has aware? When no one believes in themselves? When no one is living their best and highest good? What kind of world do I leave? Right? For the next person. So the reason why I do what I do, or we do what we do here, is to try to help people become aware of who they are, so then they can in turn help others become aware of who they are, and then we can transform our reality for which we live in. Because I truly believe that it's what we make it. Okay? If you want to believe in fear, hell, and damnation, then guess what? That's what you're going to believe in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people have these experiences, these near-death experiences, you know, and then they go, oh, I saw Jesus. And then you get some jack off who thinks it's all some religious bullshit. No, okay, it's bullshit is what it is. It's total bullshit. What it is you believe Jesus your whole life, so that's who it is. If your God was Krishna, guess who you would have saw? Krishna. If you believed Confucius, guess who you would have saw? Confucius. Okay? It's what you made it. And then what happens is once you have that experience, and I'm not saying Jesus doesn't exist, Siddhartha doesn't exist, Confucius doesn't exist, Krishna. I'm not saying that. They're wonderful, wonderful avatars, beautiful souls that are wonderful beings, spiritual beings. Wonderful. My point is, it's not religion. Okay, that's what you grew up in.
Right.
So that's who met you. And then once you get past that, over time you go, holy shit. This is way more than I thought it was.
Right.
Right? And you go, oh, wait a second. Jesus is God, Krishna, Confucius, Buddha. He's everything and all things.
Right.
Wait a second. I'm everything and all things.
Right.
What the
there
fuck?
you go. That's
This
it.
bullshit I was taught was crap.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm going, son of a bitch. Motherfuckers lied to me.
Yep.
My whole life. Right? And that's what you get, you know, that's what you get pissed on. I got pissed. I got really pissed. I got pissed at everybody. I got pissed at religion, my parents, my ex-wife's parents. I got pissed at everybody.
All the elders who were teaching you that.
Yeah. I got pissed. I mean, really pissed. And then I realized later on, and you know, a psychic actually told me this, that you'll realize that they didn't know any better either. And that's the truth. They didn't know any better either. And so back to this concept of duality, just doesn't exist, okay? In the beginning, there was light and only light, and that's really all there was, and that's all there ever will be. There's pure light, pure love, and that's it. It's what you make of it. You want hell, damnation? Guess what? That's what you get.
That's what you're going to get.
You want peace, love, and prosperity? That's what you're going to get. Yes, it's difficult. Welcome to world. Welcome to life. Welcome to learning tree. Right?
Right.
The more you become aware, you realize that, hey, awareness is really the key. The more aware you become, the less you want to do harm to yourself.
Or others.
And then, the more aware you become, you have more gratitude towards the smallest, littlest thing. The ant on the ground, the fork for which you use, the knife that you use to cut your food. You're grateful for the tray table. You're grateful for everything. And you see God everywhere and in everything. And I use the word God because it's just a word that I use.
Yeah, it's
you can use whatever you want.
Encompassing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And really, that's the key. And so when I had my awakening, when I had my understanding, now mind you, I always thought I was something different since I was popped out of the womb a kid. I just never fit in. But the experience when my grandfather died, and it just, whoa, who am I, what am I, who's God, what's God? I had that reality. That's what took me on this journey. And honestly, it's not that I don't want to travel to Hawaii or travel to Machu Picchu. Absolutely. But if you were to tell me, do the traveling or do this, I would do this. This is more important to me because I want you to see the greatness that's inside you. And if it rings true, believe it. If not, throw it away, trash it. You'll come to your own reality in your own time. But find it within yourself, teach others.
Right.
The greatest gift is in teaching others. It's fun, right? If you can help others see, the reality. And if it rings true, you're going to find others that believe in that too, that maybe your message, maybe my message isn't for you. Maybe my message, maybe Deepak Chopra's, you like the message better. Saying the same thing.
Sometimes it's just the way that the message is presented. It's not necessarily that you're saying different things. It's just the way in which someone says it and allows you to hear it. You can hear it differently from different people. But that's okay. Any way that you get the message is great.
The more aware you become, the more alive you become. Duality, Doesn't exist, nor has it ever existed. Think about it. Please view comments and
Yeah, let us know what you think about it. Do you, about the duality? Do you agree?
and most important, love yourself. Love yourself for who you are, and go out and buy that coat. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.